Our region's business is sponsored by PNC for the achiever in you.
More than a dozen years ago, in 2004 to be exact, the Society of Environmental Journalists brought their national conference to Pittsburgh, and they're coming back in just a week or so. So what had they missed? Well, one story that was barely on the radar back then was the discovery of the natural gas in the Marcellus Shale. The riverfront development all along Pittsburgh's rivers downtown was in its infancy, and our new convention center, the greenest in the world, had only recently opened. Well, now our region is gearing up to welcome them back, and one of those right out in front on this is Jerry McCleary, who is the co-chair of CEOs for Sustainability with Sustainable Pittsburgh, as well as the president and CEO of Covestro. Good to have you back. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I want to talk to you a little bit about sustainability and kind of the story that's evolved in the region, because I know it's been front and center for Covestro as a corporation. But before we get to that, I do have to ask you about how's it been going. Covestro is, you're running North America for that German company. How's it been going in Mexico and Texas since the earthquake and the hurricane?
Well, we've had our challenges, but I think the first thing to say is all of our employees are safe. They have been impacted personally, though, for their homes, their cars, their belongings.
This is mostly in
Texas at Hurricane Harvey. Our assets were pretty good. We had to shut down. We were shut down for 10 days. We had to declare force majeure. But I think what the big takeaway was is that how our company and our employees really reached out and took care of the people in need. Most of the employees, we set them up with housing, temporary housing. We also set them up with RVs to make sure that they can live there and also repair their homes. We had a lot of volunteer teams to go out and help them clean out their homes. We helped them with food and other medical type of supplies and so forth. But it's been a big reach out. We continue to help them until they're full-time back to work.
Was it a big part of your workforce down in Texas that was displaced or had their homes destroyed or damaged so they couldn't go back?
We have about 1,000 employees in Baytown, Texas, and about 150 employees were impacted by the hurricane. 100 of them more severe than others. I would say about 50 lost their homes totally and all their belongings, their automobile. A lot of our employees don't have flood insurance. So we're bringing in professional help and support and services to make sure that we can get them out. This is a long-term commitment for us to help our employees and to make sure that their minds are okay, that they're safe, their families are safe, and get them back to work.
But with that emphasis on those people, you've been able to get them back to work and get the operations up and running again?
Yeah. We have, most of them are back to work. We'll continue to help support them and pay them, but right now their operations are up and running. We have the workforce that we can do it. We brought in some contract labor also to help us out through these times.
And the earthquake. I know as we're recording this,
yes,
it's very fresh, but from your standpoint, from your facilities?
Yeah, we have about 300 employees in Mexico and Mexico City and Santa Clara. Santa Clara, with our assets are a manufacturing site, all is good, employees are all safe. Mexico, they were more shook up than anything. They're all safe, their families are safe. But there seems to be some damage in the building that they work, so we have shut down that building at this time.
Wow. It really shows, though, a corporation is everything that's involved in it, right? It's your raw materials, your facilities, but also the people who work for it. When you think about sustainability as an organization, it's really this really makes it front and center.
It does. I mean, you have assets, but your most important asset is really comes down to your people. And if you need to have your people to be able to deliver results to our shareholders. So,
and I know Covestro has really made a point about sustainability as a corporate value. Why? Why has that been so important to you?
Sustainability has always been a big part of our business, and since we transitioned to Covestro, Covestro. We looked at it and said, how do we brand Covestro? Who are we? What do we do? What do we stand for? And sustainability was forefront, and it's the core of our branding. And one of the first major investments we did was invest as a sponsorship at the Energy Innovation Center in the Hill District. And we looked at it as a perfect fit for us. We saw like-minded organizations there that has a passion about sustainability. We also had a lot of our raw materials that were used to help EIC, Energy Innovation Center, become LEED Platinum certified and more energy efficiency there. So we thought that was a perfect fit and to help brand our company Covestro.
You know, it's great. It's great branding, great image to have, the green image, but at the end of the day, does this emphasis, does this investment, does it flow to the bottom line?
There's definitely a business case, top and bottom line. What we do, a lot of our products that we do produce help the cause. It really reduces the CO2 footprint. Even though we're in the chemical industry and we use petroleum-based fossil fuel, and when you talk about the circular economy, is that we can come back and reduce the carbon footprint. In fact, we have some pretty aggressive targets as a corporation to reduce energy efficiency by 50% by 2030, and also to reduce our carbon footprint by 50%.
Pretty remarkable. Only a few seconds left, but I wonder, do you think a dozen years or so after all these journalists were last here, do you think Pittsburgh has a good story to tell in this space?
I think Pittsburgh has an excellent story to tell. You know, that we have transformed from an industrial economy to a more diverse economy, as you know. And you can see, and we look at this, I think we're pioneering something. We talk about renewable energy. There's 13,000 employees here that work on renewable energy. And you know, we're focused on, the city's focused on, you know, a clean future with smart infrastructure. They're looking at energy efficiency, and they're doing the right things here. And you know, but you know, when you talk about sustainability, it's more than just energy efficiency. It's also about, you know, how do we make sure we have a prosperous economy and so forth? And it comes down that we got to really work together more on the critical social issues. I think that's also critical part of sustainability. And you know, how do we eliminate hunger? How do we make sure that we have access to quality education? And again, how do we make sure we have a more diverse and inclusive community? And Covestro is going to help lead something. We'll have a summit in November.
That's right. I was going to ask you that with just our last few seconds.
Yeah.
You're kind of trying to take a real leadership position and thinking more holistically about all of this, right?
We think what's important for us, we're going to hold a summit November 15th called THINC30. It's like-minded individuals and corporations, organizations coming together. There's so many people working on these social issues, trying to do the right thing, but we think if we can collaborate more, work together more, and really focus, we think we can write the next chapter for sustainability for our region.
Really exciting. Good for Covestro, great for our region. Jerry McCleary from Covestro. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you.
And innovation in our region is the focus of the American Middle East Institute's annual business conference. We'll find out why the world is beating a path to our door when our region's business continues.